So, on the basis of electrical properties, yesterday we have studied that the solids are classified into three types: conductors, insulators, and semiconductors. So, conductors are the substances which allow electricity to pass through them to the maximum extent, and insulators are the substances which do not allow electricity to pass through them, and semiconductors are the substances which allow small amount of electricity to pass through them. And also we have given the conductivity range of conductors, insulators, and semiconductors. So we have studied semiconductors. What are semiconductors? So substances which allow small amount of electricity to pass through them. So the conductivity range is between 10 to the power of minus 6 to 10 to the power of 4 ohm minus 1 meter minus 1. So in semiconductors there are the conductivity of semiconductors can be increased one by increasing the temperature conductivity of semiconductors can be increased by increasing the temperature. Number 2, by the addition of suitable impurity element. So these things you have to know about semiconductors, which allow small amount of electricity to pass through them. The conductivity range between 10 to the power of minus 6 to 10 to the power of 4 ohm minus 1 meter once. Conductivity of semiconductors can be increased either by increasing the temperature or by the addition of suitable impurity. Then coming to the types of semiconductors, namely what are extrinsic and intrinsic semiconductors. Intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductors. What are intrinsic semiconductors and extrinsic semiconductors? Intrinsic semiconductors are the pure form of semiconductors, and also their conductivity can be increased by increasing the temperature. So intrinsic semiconductors are the pure form of semiconductors, or their conductivity can be increased by increasing the temperature. Example, silicon and germanium. Are the examples for intrinsic semiconductors, and they are the pure form of semiconductors. Coming to extrinsic semiconductors, these semiconductors are also called as doped semiconductors. That means the conductivity of these semiconductors can be increased by the addition of an impurity element an impurity element which is either electron rich or electron deficient. So then these eccentric semiconductors either electron rich or electron deficient. So then again these eccentric semiconductors are of two types, n-type semiconductor and then p-type semiconductor. N-type semiconductor and p-type semiconductor, depending upon the valency of the impurity element added. They are classified into two types, n-type and p-type semiconductors. So n-type here electron rich or higher valency element is added. Here it is electron deficient or lower valency element is added. So this is how we can classify semiconductors: intrinsic semiconductor, eccentric semiconductor. Intrinsic semiconductors are the pure form of semiconductors. Their conductivity is very less. So their conductivity can be increased by increasing temperature. Eccentric semiconductors are the semiconductors whose conductivity can be increased by the addition of suitable impurity element, which is called as doping. So depending upon the valency of the doped element, eccentric semiconductors are again classified into two types, n-type semiconductor and p-type semiconductor. If the semiconductor is doped with electron rich element or higher valency element, we will get n-type semiconductor, or if it is doped with electron deficient or lower valency element, it is called p-type semiconductor. Or eccentric semiconductors. So, and then we will know what is doping now. What is doping? The process of increasing the conductivity. The process of increasing the conductivity of a semiconductor by the addition of suitable impurity element is called doping. The process of increasing the conductivity of a semiconductor by the addition of suitable impurity element is called doping. The impurity element that is added is called dopant. Next, during doping, the number of electrons or the number of positive vacancies or holes are increased in the lattice, and hence the conductivity of the semiconductor increases. Conductivity of the semiconductor increases. Now let us study what are N-type and P-type semiconductors. What are N-type and P-type semiconductors? Depending upon the valency of the dopant, the extrinsic semiconductors are of two types. Number one, N-type, and number two, P-type semiconductors. N-type and P-type semiconductors. Now, what are N-type semiconductors? N-type semiconductors. Give example. So, these are all very important. What are N-type semiconductors? Give examples. The semiconductors which are doped with suitable element of higher valency. The semiconductor which are doped with a suitable element of higher valency are called N-type semiconductors. Semiconductors which are doped with suitable element of higher valency are called N-type semiconductors. So, in N-type semiconductors, negative electrons are responsible for the increase in conductivity. Hence, the semiconductors are called N-type semiconductors. So, since negative electrons are responsible for increasing the conductivity, the semiconductors are called N-type semiconductors. Example, silicon or germanium. So, silicon Si, germanium Ge, both are group 14 elements and valency equals 4. 14 group elements, they are below carbon in the periodic table. 14 group elements alli 10 electrons. First group, second group, 4 electrons are in their outermost shell. Therefore, their valency is 4. silicon or germanium is doped with phosphorus. What is this formula? P or arsenic. Its formula is As. So both these elements are group 15th group elements and valency equals 5. So silicon or germanium are the intrinsic semiconductors. Their conductivity is less. If these elements are doped with higher valency elements like phosphorus or arsenic, its valency is 5, its valency is 4, its valency is 5, we will get n-type semiconductors. So we get n-type semiconductors. So if these eccentric semiconductors having valency 4 are doped with these elements of higher valency, either phosphorus or arsenic, we will get n-type semiconductors. N-type semiconductors. So coming to the explanation how the conductivity increases, let us say like this. Explanation how these high valency impurity elements increases the conductivity of these semiconductors. For example, when silicon, what is its valency? Valency 4 is mixed with or is doped with small amount of phosphorus. What is its valency? Valency equals 5. Valency of silicon is 4. Valency of phosphorus is 5. When silicon of valency 4 is doped with small amount of phosphorus of valency 5, all the p atoms means phosphorus atoms are occupied by some of the lattice sites of silicon. Some of the lattice sites of silicon. Here phosphorus form 4 covalent bonds with the neighboring four silicon atoms. Here phosphorus forms 4 covalent bonds with the neighboring 4 silicon atoms, and the 5th electron becomes unbonded. This free electron can delocalize throughout the crystal and hence the conductivity increases. Conductivity increases. So, when silicon is doped with a small amount of phosphorus, all the phosphorus atoms are occupied by some of the lattice sites of silicon. Here, phosphorus form 4 covalent bonds with 4 silicon atoms, and the fifth electron, since its valency is 5, 4 electrons are involved in bond formation and fifth electron remains unbonded. This free electron can delocalize throughout the crystal and hence the conductivity increases. So, this can be explained like this. So, silicon atoms So, these are all silicon atoms. What is the valency of silicon? Silicon valency is 4, therefore it contains 4 electrons in their outermost shell. So, each silicon atom has got 4 electrons in its outermost shell. So, this is silicon valency 4. So, it is intrinsic semiconductor, since all the electrons are involved in bond formation. So, there are 4 covalent bonds. The electron of this atom form covalent bond with this atom. As a result, they are involved in bond formation like this. So, there are no free electrons in the lattice and the conductivity is less. So, if this silicon is doped with phosphorus instead of silicon, some phosphorus particles will come and sit in the lattice sites of silicon. So, here how many electrons are there around silicon? Again there are 4 electrons around silicon. So, around phosphorus how many electrons are there? Around phosphorus there are 5 electrons because its valency is 5. Its valency is 5. So, around this silicon there are 4 electrons. So, since the valency of silicon is 4, there are 4 electrons around each silicon atom. Since the valency of phosphorus is 5, there are 5 electrons around each phosphorus atom. So, this phosphorus atom form 4 covalent bonds with the neighboring silicon atoms. 4 covalent bonds with the neighboring silicon atoms, and this electron remain unbonded. This is the extra electron around each phosphorus atom. I have shown here only one phosphorus atom which is occupied the lattice site of silicon. So, there are many phosphorus atoms if you are doped with phosphorus. So, around each phosphorus atom there are free electrons. These free electrons can delocalize throughout the crystal. As a result, what happens? The conductivity increases. So, what is this type of semiconductor is called? N-type semiconductor. So, conductivity is due to the movement of this negatively charged electron. So, what is this electron is called? Negative electron, n-type semiconductor. So doped with higher valency phosphorus, higher valency phosphorus. So valency equals 5. So these are what are called as n-type semiconductors. So semiconductors, these are the semiconductors which are doped with higher valency elements. Higher valency elements are called n-type semiconductors. In n-type semiconductors, the conductivity increases due to the migration of negatively charged electrons. Therefore, they are called n-type semiconductors. Example for n-type semiconductors: silicon or germanium is doped with either phosphorus or arsenic. Both the valency of both phosphorus and arsenic are 5, and this forms n-type semiconductors. Let us see what are p-type semiconductors. The semiconductors which are doped with suitable elements of lower valency. Suitable elements of lower valency are called p-type semiconductors. P-type semiconductors. So semiconductors which are doped with suitable element of lower valency are called p-type semiconductors. Semiconductors which are doped with suitable elements of higher valency are called n-type semiconductors. Here positively charged holes are responsible for increasing the conductivity of the semiconductor, and hence they are called p-type semiconductors. P-type means positively charged holes are responsible for increasing the conductivity. Therefore, they are called p-type semiconductors. Example for p-type semiconductors: silicon or germanium. Both belongs to group 14 and valency equals 4. Can be doped with boron, B, or aluminum. So both elements belongs to group 13 and valency equals 3. So when silicon or germanium, these are the usual intrinsic semiconductors, their conductivity is less. Their conductivity can be increased by doping these elements. What is the valency of these elements? As you know, they belongs to group 14 in the periodic table and their valency is 4. Are doped with boron or aluminum. These are 13th group elements, group 13th elements, and their valency is 3. We get p-type semiconductors. We get p-type semiconductors. If silicon or germanium is doped with boron or aluminum, we get p-type semiconductors. Here the valency of these elements, doping elements, are 3. So now we will explain how the doping of lower valency elements increases the conductivity of the semiconductors. So as I have told you, this is silicon. I have taken silicon as the example. Silicon, what is its valency? Its valency is 4. Around each silicon atom there are 4 electrons. Therefore, its valency is 4. So it forms covalent bonds. Silicon form 4 covalent bonds with 4 neighboring silicon atoms, and there are no free electrons. Therefore, the conductivity of silicon is less. So it is silicon valency equals 4. So it is an intrinsic semiconductor. So if this semiconductor is doped with lower valency elements like boron, so again there are 4 electrons around each silicon. So if this silicon is doped with boron, so what is the valency of boron? Valency of boron is 3. So around each silicon atom there are 4 electrons because its valency is 4. If this silicon is doped with boron atoms, boron has got only 3 electrons. So this boron can form 3 covalent bonds with the neighboring 3 silicon atom, leaving behind a hole here in between the 4th silicon atom and boron atom. This boron atom has the valency 3 and it has got 3 electrons around it. Therefore, it forms 3 covalent bonds with the neighboring silicon atoms and it leaves a hole with the 4th silicon atom, because to make bond between this silicon atom and boron atom there are no electrons with boron. So this hole is a positive hole. So these electrons are negative. Since negative electrons are less here, it is called positive hole. So what happens? This positive hole move from this. So to fulfill this electron, this one of the electron of silicon atom comes to here and it forms a bond with this silicon atom, and then this hole moves to this level. Similarly, this hole moves to this level because this electron comes to here. As a result, the hole moves to this atom. So since the positive hole moves from one atom to another atom, the electrons will move in the opposite direction. As a result, there is flow of electrons and flow of positive hole. The conductivity increases. So this is called p-type semiconductor. So this here the conductivity increases due to the migration of positive hole throughout the crystal lattice. As the positive hole moves, the electron moves in the opposite direction. As a result, there is flow of electron throughout the crystal lattice and the conductivity increases. P-type semiconductors doped with boron valency equals 3. So when semiconductors are doped with higher valency electrons, electrons will be more, and these negative electrons are responsible for conductivity. When semiconductors are doped with lower valency elements like boron, what happens? Due to the shortage of electrons, there forms a positive hole. This hole moves from one atom to another atom. As a result, the electrons will move in the opposite direction and hence conductivity increases. So the explanation for this one is, write down, when silicon valency 4 is doped with boron valency 3, all the boron atoms are occupied by some lattice sites of silicon. So here boron forms 3 covalent bonds. Boron forms 3 covalent bonds with the neighboring silicon atoms, leaving a hole in between it and the fourth silicon atom. So it forms 3 covalent bonds with 3 neighboring silicon atoms and leaves a hole in between this boron atom and this silicon atom. So this hole is positively charged. This hole is positively charged and migrates throughout the crystal, and hence conductivity increases. Stop. Since conductivity increases due to the positive movement of the positive hole, it is called p-type semiconductor. Now let us study the differences between n-type and p-type semiconductors. So here it is n-type semiconductor and here it is p-type semiconductor. So what is the first difference? So these semiconductors, n-type semiconductors, are obtained by doping with higher valency, higher valency, namely pentavalent, obtained by doping with higher valency or pentavalent dopant, obtained by doping with higher valency or pentavalent dopant. So p-type semiconductors are obtained by doping with lower valency, namely trivalent dopant. Example for trivalent dopant, here it is boron or aluminum. Example for pentavalent dopant, here it is phosphorus or arsenic. Phosphorus or arsenic. Second difference, here negatively charged electrons contributes to conduction. Here negatively charged electrons contributes to conduction. Here positively charged holes contributes to conduction. Negatively charged, therefore it is called n-type, therefore it is called p-type. So these are the two differences between n-type and p-type semiconductors.